Hello, my name's Andy. Welcome back. This is episode 9 of my Blacksmithing Basics series. So today we're going to make a slitting chisel to go along with the centre punch that I made in the last video. Once again, I suggest you use coil spring. This is a piece of coil spring that is about 1/2 inch round by roughly 8 inches long. Yeah, let's get cracking. Okay, so we're going to forge the struck end first. We're going to forge a short taper and square it off at the end, and then we'll come back round, take the corners off and make it into an octagon. Square it off, come back, knock those corners off. Okay, so we forged the struck end. Now what we're going to do is come back about 1.5 inches and with a rounding hammer put a divot in either side on the horn. Okay, come to the horn. I'm using the rounding hammer. Just put it in a slight flat and then go back straight up. Now what we'll do, cut it off and we'll form the tip. Okay, so I had a slight rag left over from cutting it off there, so I've just cleaned that up with an angle grinder. Now, at this point it's important to note that once you've got the divot in the chisel, you want to keep that perfectly parallel with the face of the anvil while you're forging the tip. Okay. Just make sure that divot's flat. come back to it in a couple of hours. So about 2 hours has passed. The chisel's nice and cold now. It's been annealed. It's in its softest state as it can be. So as you can see, it's nice and straight. The divot lines up with the chisel point, and the struck end is nice and clean as well. So the reason that I put this divot in is so that you can line it up with the workpiece. You can hold it with your fingers there, line it up with the workpiece, and then strike. You know just by touch that you've got the chisel lined up right. It's not on a slight angle like that, or, you know, God forbid, that way either. So nice and easy, lined up, boom. So now what we need to do is take the chisel over to the grinder. We're going to curve the tip slightly. So I'm going to curve it like that, put a slight radius on there, and then bevel the tip as well. And then we'll, once we've cleaned it up with the grinder, we'll take it over to heat treat, and then we're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to grind a slight radius on the tip of the chisel. I'll do that now. Just a 60 grit flap disc on the angle grinder. Okay, so it's not a dramatic curve, just ever so slight. Now we'll grind in the bevels. Okay, so now that I've ground the edge, I'm going to heat treat it. Let's do it. Okay, that is the heat treatment. Get it nice and hot, bring it out, and just let it air cool. There is enough toughness in spring steel in this state to work hot steel quite easily. You don't have to actually heat treat coil spring to work hot steel. If you were working cold steel, like the punch that I made in the last video, if you want to punch something that's cold, then yes, you need to heat treat it. You need to make sure that it's nice and hard. But as I say, this steel is tough enough in this state to work hot metal quite easily. Okay. Okay, so there you go. That's how to make a slitting chisel. I should mention that I have ground the top as well, just to flatten it off and take off the sharp corners so that it doesn't mushroom when it's being struck. So I hope you found the video useful. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and a share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so, you know, all the good stuff. I am generally much more active on Instagram and Facebook than I am on YouTube, so I'll put links below for them. Please follow me there if you don't already. And yeah, thanks very much. I'll see you next time.